Hi everybody, welcome back to the Jank Factory for another spoiler video for Throne of Eldraine. I missed a couple of days, so we've got quite a few to go over today. We last left off at 121, now 269 spoiled, now there's 188, so we've got ourselves a decent number to go through today. Our last card was the Giant Killer, and we're going to move on to the Garenbrig Paladin now. 5 mana Adamant 4/4 enters with a counter on it. If Adamant triggers, it can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. Good limited pick. Emery. Oh, it's the Lady of the Lake. Awesome. So what's Emery all about here? A 3 mana legendary Merfolk Wizard. Ooh, Merfolk. I like Merfolk. 1/2. Costs 1 less for each artifact you control. When there's a battlefield, you mill 4 and then tap to choose an artifact. In your graveyard, you can cast it this turn. So that's pretty cool. Not the Merfolk I was hoping for, but it's on flavor with the Lady of the Lake. We've got Out Muscle here. Is that seriously a dude suplexing a bear? As a dude suplexing a bear. That bear got suplexed by a dude. Okay. It's a fairy tale. I guess that could happen. 4 mana sorcery, green. Put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Then it fights another creature you don't control. Adamant. Adamant trigger. The creature gains indestructible as well. So you could definitely suplex a bear that way if you're a 1/1 human, because humans are supposedly always supposed to be around 1/1, and bears are 2/2s, as we well know from grizzly bears, so it makes sense. Okame Ranger. We've seen this one, I think. Maybe we saw like the special artwork for him. Hybrid green-white, bring back, create 2 1/1 human tokens, and then it's a 2/2 for 4 green-white hybrid that you can tap to anthem your creatures for a turn. Blow your house down. We got ourselves the big bad wolf over here, blowing down houses. Sorcery speed red, up to 3 target creatures can't block this turn. Destroy any of them that are walls. We did this one already, didn't we? Yeah, we totally did that one already. We're supposed to be here once in the future. 4 mana instant. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Put up to 1 other card from your graveyard on top of your library. Exile once in future. Adamant, you put them to your hand. You put them both into your hand instead. Okay. I like it. It's instant speed, so you can get up to some shenanigans with it. So we got Lochmere Serpent, and we got Lochmere Serpent with a full art extension. 6 mana, 7/7 flash, and Dimir colors, so probably a good control finisher. Blue and sack an island. It can't be blocked this turn. Black and sack a swamp, gain a life and draw a card. Blue and black, exile 5 cards from an opponent's graveyard. Return it from your graveyard to your hand. Only time you can do it is when it's a sorcery. Yeah, I mean, I can see some control decks trying to bring that in and testing with it. I kind of like it. I'm not a fan of sacrificing my lands. That's why I never really liked Twisted or Twister Elemental or whatever it was that came out that everybody plays in the elemental decks. Trail of Crumbs. 2 mana green enchantment, makes a food token. When you sack a food for an additional 1 mana, you can look at your top 2 cards, reveal a permanent, put in your hand, and the other one on the bottom in any order. That's pretty cool. A little bit of card selection in green. Curious Pair. 2 mana, 1/3, human peasant with an adventure. Create a food token for 1 mana. So this is Hansel and Gretel. Oh, it's gingerbread. The just like mother makes. What is there to be afraid of? We should go and drink all of the vine and eat the gingerbread in this house. Sorry if that offends anyone. I have a terrible German accent. Covetous Urge, 4 mana Dimir. Your opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land from graveyard or hand and exile it. You may cast it for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though or mana of any color to cast that spell. Kind of reminds me of a card that was similarly costed in the blue-black hybrid from back in the Lorwyn Shadowmoor days, where you could do a similar effect to that. So that's pretty cool. I like it. A troll. A Clackbridge troll. Wizards. A 5 mana 8/8 with trample and haste. Wizards. What's the drawback? When it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3/01 white goats. Okay. Don't really see that as a drawback when it means I can swing in for 5 trample damage the same turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If the player does, tap Clackbridge Troll. You gain 3 life and draw a card. Wizards. WotC. What nonsense. So your drawback is an advantage. It's like a much better Desecration Demon. Because it has haste and is bigger. And trample. Jeez, and it lets you gain life and draw cards too. I mean, if I open any of those in any of my packs, I'll be playing that card for sure. But dang, that's crazy. Feasting Troll King extended art for 4 green and 2 colorless. That's very heavy green commitment there. It's a 7/6 Troll Noble with vigilance and trample. That's cool. When Feasting Troll King enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, create 3 food tokens. Okay, so he makes food. And you can sacrifice 3 food and return him from the graveyard to the battlefield. So that's your way of regenerating the Troll King, I suppose, is just sacking food tokens to bring him back. Like, hey, Troll King, you're in the graveyard over there. You're might peckish. Maybe these 3 foods will liven you up some. Robber the Rich. Okay. Robin Hood, Human Archer Rogue. 2 mana 2/2 with reach and haste. What's with all the haste today? Dang. Okay. Whenever it attacks, if defending player has more cards in hand than you, exile the top card of their library. During any turn you attack with a rogue, you may cast that card and you may spend mana as though or mana of any color to cast that spell. So a little bit more toned down version of Thief of Sanity, but with haste, so and a mana cheaper, and you get to attack with a rogue in order to cast a spell. But honestly, I can see a Grixis tempo deck just manifesting him before my eyes that wants to do Robber of the Rich into Thief of Sanity. That's ridiculous. Alright, Wildborn Preserver. There's all full art. 2 mana 2/2, Elf Archer, riding a fox. It's riding a friggin' giant fox, everyone. Do you see this? Do you see this giant fox? It's amazing. We need more foxes in Magic and less wolves, in my opinion. Elf Archer 2/2, Flash and Reach. Whenever another non-human creature enters a battlefield under your control, you may pay X. When you do, put X 1/1 counters on Wildborn Preserver. So, yeah. Simic Flash has a new toy. One that can close out a game pretty easy. Oh yeah, let me just drop this 2 mana dude and then, you know, next turn I might just main phase that Spectral Sailor so that I can pay the other mana to put a 2/1/1 counters on my 2 mana dude and make it a 4/4 with reach. Sure, seems good. Why not? That's fair. Hypnotic Sprite, 2 blue, 2/1 flyer with Mesmeric Glare as an adventure, instant speed, 3 mana. Counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. So that's not terrible. I mean, that's a way that a control deck can run a counter spell and still be able to get a creature out of it down the road. What's the other art look like? Oh, wow. I love all these more like black and white or sepia colored uncommons with the extra borders and everything that we've seen. That's so pretty. I like that a lot. Weaselback Redcap. Redcaps are goblins. 1 mana, 1/1. That's a goblin knight, so relevant creature types, both. For 2 mana, it gets +2 until end of turn, so double fire breathe every turn on them. And you can do as much as you want if you have mana for it. Sure. It's not like Mono Red needed any other tools. Roving Keep. 7 mana, 5/7 defender, artifact creature wall. For 7 mana, it gets +2 power, gains trample, and can attack as though it didn't have defender. So if you pay 7 to bring it out, and then you pay another 7 to give it power 7, it can attack with trample, even though it's a defender. But then all your opponent has to do is blow your house down. Moving on. Worthy Knight, 2 mana, 2/2. Human Knight, white. Whenever you cast a night spell, create a 1/1 human token. Alright. It'd be crazy if we have another effect like Arcane Adaptation or Conspiracy in this set, so that you could have all your white humans be white human knights and then gain all the knight benefits. Sir Kara the Bold. Sir K, 5 mana, 3/3. Not sounding too hot so far. Whenever Sir Kara or an instant or sorcery spell you control deals combat damage or deals damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play this card. And you can tap Sir Kara to ping any target. So card advantage in the flickering, flashing red version of it where you exile something. I can see that being alright. Claim the Firstborn. 1 mana, gain control of a creature with CMC 3 or less until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste. So a 1 mana act of treason that can only target CMC 3 or less. I like it. I like it a lot. I'll be using that in sealed like crazy. Searing Barrage. 5 mana red instant. Deals 5 damage to a creature. Has adamant. Will deal 3 damage to that creature's controller as well. Expensive. Niche. Interesting. Kenrith, the Returned King. So I'm guessing this is Will and Rowan's daddy. 5 mana white, human noble, legendary, 5/5 with Wooburg color identity. So it can be a 5 mana commander. Red, all your creatures get trample and haste until end of turn. Green and colorless, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. White and 2 colorless, gain 5 life. Blue and 3 colorless, draw a card. Black and 4 colorless, put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control. So it's definitely skewed towards the 3 main colors that we're seeing knights in: white and red and green. but it's got access to blue and black. We've seen some knights in black. I can't remember if we've seen any knights that are blue yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's a couple. And I think the elemental knights, the Cavaliers are elemental knights from M20 as well, so that's a relevant thing to know. Pretty cool guy there. Expensive abilities for more powerful abilities further up and to what you're looking at there, but you can activate any one of those abilities the turn after he comes into play if you have the mana available for it if he survives. So he's not completely dead. Like he has a 7 mana ability and he costs 5, and you can't ever get to that 7 mana ability before he's removed. Outlaw's Merriment. 4 mana, Boros enchantment, 2 white and a red, and a colorless. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one at random. Create a red and white token with those characteristics. 3/1 human warrior with trample and haste. 2/1 human cleric with lifelink and haste. 1/2 human rogue with haste, and when this creature enters the battlefield, it does 1 damage to any target. I really like this enchantment. I really like this enchantment. The randomness of this is fun. You still get a creature no matter what. They all have haste, so you can still attack with them. And yeah, you don't want to play this when you need lifelink and just hope that you get a 2/1 human cleric. But any of those creatures adds to the battlefield for you, so that's really good. Charming Prince. 2 mana, 2/2, human noble in white. When it ETBs, you choose to do one of 3 things. Scry 2, gain 3 life, exile another creature you own, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, Scry 2 is nice, gaining life is nice. The third option I'm more excited about. If you drop this dude and your opponent has mass manipulated or agent of treachery one of your creatures, you can exile it, take it off your opponent's side of the battlefield, and then it returns to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So if it happens to have and enters the battlefield trigger, you get to trigger off of it again. I like this guy a lot. It's definitely what I would expect out of a white rare. Skullknocker Ogre. 4 mana, 4/3 Ogre. Whenever it deals damage to an opponent, doesn't have to be combat damage, that's relevant, that player discards a card at random. Okay. If that player does, they draw a card. Not as okay. Like, you're basically saying, hi, opponent, I got this 4 mana creature that just dealt damage to you, but good news, I'm going to let you have a Planeswalker ability for free. You remember that Tybalt the Fiendblooded guy and his ability to let you, draw a card and then discard a card at random? Well, we're going to kind of do that for you. So discard a card at random and then draw a card. Yeah, maybe you'll get something good. When it's a drawback for you to use a Planeswalker ability for your opponent, the way that they would if they had that Planeswalker on the battlefield, that's a bad Planeswalker ability. A very bad one. Scorching Dragonfire. 2 mana red instant, 3 damage to creature or Planeswalker. If it would die, exile it this turn. So I like it. It's non-face hitting lightning bolt that exiles when it kills, so that's good. Stolen by the Fae, I guess this would have been the special art, but we don't get to see it. Sir Eleonora the Clairvoyant. So that's like Sir Bedivere, I guess. 5 mana, legendary creature, most likely human knight. Power equal to number of cards in your hand. ETBs, draw a card, and Frost Titan. Defensive ability. Spells your opponent control that target Sir Eleanor cost 2 more to cast. Well, it's an X4, and if you're playing this card in your deck, you're probably going to be sitting on 5 or 6 cards. So 5/4, 6/4 for 5 mana seems pretty good. Harder to remove because it costs extra. Doom Foretold. This is the extended art. We did go over this one on probably the first or second day. Oakham Ranger. This is the special art for it. Special art for Fairy Guide Mother. Special art for Giant Killer. Okay. I like that you see the beanstalk kind of chopped down here in this one. That's pretty good. Questing Beast. The most evil card. The most evil. I can't remember. Have we seen this one already? Or was I just told about this to the point where I was already scared of it? Yeah, we already saw it. Yeah. Terrifying. Terrifying beast. Terrifying. I'm scared of you. I'm very scared of you. Once Upon a Time, alternate art. No border. I like it. No border Wishclaw Talisman. Here's a new one. Harmonious Archon. 6 mana, 4/5 flyer. Archon creature. Non-Archon creatures have base power and toughness 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens. Okay, so provided that this Archon stays on the battlefield after you cast it for a turn, you are effectively getting 10 power for 6 mana. 4 of which is flying, so evasive. And could be nerfing your opponent's creatures down from 6/6s and all that down to 3/3s. Or it could be, making their little token army of saplings or knights more terrifying, either one. But it'd be better if it took away all abilities, in my opinion, as like a control card. But, it's not bad. Full art looks nice. Trapped in the tower. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Enchantment Aura, 2 mana white. Enchant creature without flying. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. At least up here I have some peace and quiet. So this is like the opposite of Rapunzel? She's like, yo, I got this hair and I'm going to tease you with it and dangle it down this tower and be like, hey, come get this princess that's up in the tower. And I'll just be like, nah, I'm pulling my hair up now because I got peace and quiet. I don't want to deal with your, knightly ass coming up here. And True Love's Kiss. Oh no, we skipped Beloved Princess. Beloved Princess, 1 mana, 1/1 human noble with lifelink. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. So it's like an Amru Kithkin for less mana with lifelink. With human type instead of Kithkin type. So, better. True Love's Kiss. 4 mana instant. Exile target artifact or enchantment and draw a card. Alright. Interesting. Well, I guess that is flavorful. You get the kiss, and then the rock that's been all closing in on your true love fades away into nothing. Inquisitive Puppet. 1 mana, 0/2 construct. When ETBs, scry 1. Exile, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Oh, snap, that's Pinocchio. That's Pinocchio. The strings were gone, but he felt the pool of invisible forces tugging on his mind beyond the great hinge. So that's cool. You can, bring him in turn one, scry, block with him. If you would die from combat damage, you can just exile him whenever you want to, make a 1/1 white human token. I'm a little upset that he doesn't have some sort of lie mechanic where like his power is increased, but his like ability to move around is impacted or something because his nose keeps growing. But that's pretty cool. I like Pinocchio. We got ourselves a spinning wheel. 3 mana, add a mana of any color, so it's a mana rock. 4/5 and tap, you can tap a creature. So very expensive upside over a manolith, basically. Ginger Brute. You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. I'm an artifact creature, food golem. I'm a 1 mana 1/1 with haste. And for 1 mana, Ginger Brute can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Because you can't catch him. He's the gingerbread man. You can't catch him. But then when you do catch him, you can pay 2 mana, tap him, and sacrifice him, and you can gain 3 life. Because you can eat that Ginger Brute. You can eat him. Eat him. 7 dwarves. 7 dwarves gets +1/+1 for each other creature named 7 dwarves you control. A deck can have up to 7 cards named 7 dwarves. 2 mana, 2/2 dwarf. It's a dwarf. How long has it been since we've seen dwarves in a set? This is awesome. Dwarves are so old school, and they quit putting them in for one reason or another and doing other things like Kithkins and cores and stuff. And you've got this treasure mine of dwarves, and I guess that is an intentional pun to some extent. Like, there's so much flavor and story that you can bring in with dwarves, and we haven't seen them in so long. And yet here it is, a dwarf, and not just one dwarf, but 7 dwarfs. And those 7 dwarfs are amazingly friendly with each other, and they want to have each other's back. And if you have them in play, they're like a plague of monsters. +1 for each other creature named 7 dwarves you control. You throw that in a blue-red deck, and you start cloning the crap out of them with quasi-duplicate, and you have an army of dwarves. And that army of dwarves will steal the treasure from your opponent, and they'll just be like, this is our treasure now, and we're going to make the best weapons and armor out of it. Sorry, opponent. I hope you're an elf, because elves are elves and we're dwarves. Okay. Oh, they reprinted Opt. Hooray! Blue, flash, control, tempo. We still have access to Opt. But look at that artwork. Do you choose magic or the steel? Do you live by the code of magic and the laws of magic, or do you live by the codes and laws of chivalry? Sometimes the hardest choice is between 2 wonders. It's a good quote, Gadwick the Wizard. Or the wizened, not the wizard. Gadwick. We haven't seen Gadwick yet, have we? I don't think we've seen Gadwick. So, that's probably your Merlin character. I hope he's a card. I hope he's not just like a mythological creature that doesn't exist in this fairy tale world, because that would suck. Ayara, First of Locthwain. 3 black mana. Elf Noble, legendary creature, 2/3. We're going back to Theros. I guess Devotion's going to be a thing again, and they're going to be like, hey yo, we reprinted Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Have fun not playing anything but mono black. When Ayara, First of Locthwain, or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Tap, sacrifice another black creature, draw a card. Morning shifts seamlessly to celebration as she chooses her next suitor. Oh, snap. She's like a Black Widow. She marries you, she steals your money, and then she kills you. And that's all her money. And you don't have any of it because you're dead. Ugh. Worthy Knight. Full art. I like that much better than the standard art. That's really cool. I like that a lot. The Royal Scions. Very cool full art card here. Very cool. What do we got next? Righteousness. They're reprinting Righteousness in Standard. That is going to be a blowout for decks that are trying to be defensive. It's going to be a blowout for decks that are running high alerts. It's going to be a blowout for a lot of reasons. I like it. Here's Emery in her full art. Looking pretty Lady of the Lake-ish still. I like it. The alternate art of Hansel and Gretel. It's gingerbread, like mother makes. What is there to be afraid of? Let's have these treats and share them, and create food tokens and eat them, because we are little children that do not know the difference between trespassing and vandalism. Yeah. Outlaws Merriment, full art. Even better than the original artwork for sure. Epic Downfall. 2 mana, black sorcery, exile target creature CMC 3 or less. There's already like 3 cards that do this in standard, and nobody runs them because of sorcery speed. That may change because we're losing cast down in a few things, but well, I doubt it. I really do doubt it. It looks like we're definitely being equipped with a lot of tools to take out the low to the ground aggressive decks cheaply, though, which is nice. Fervent Champion. 1 mana, 1/1 Human Knight. First strike and haste. Red. Whenever it attacks another target attacking knight you control gets +1 and +0 until end of turn. Equip abilities you activate that target Fervent Champion. Cost 3 less to activate. What's that? Oh! 2018 World Champion Javier Dominguez. Oh man, I bet the artwork is his face too. I don't know what this guy looks like, but that's awesome. So they're going back to the old days where they would actually celebrate their champions on their cards. I like it. Opportunistic Dragon. 4 mana, 4/3 dragon with flying. When it ETBs, choose a human or artifact an opponent controls. For as long as Opportunistic Dragon remains on the battlefield, gain control of that permanent. It loses all abilities and it can't attack or block. So it's like a covetous dragon trying to steal the loot, and then it holds the loot in secret until someone comes along and slays it for the loot. I like it. Here we go, Gadwick the Wizened, the Wizened, Merlin, or Gandalf, whatever you want to call him. X, triple blue. 3/3? Legendary Human Wizard. When Gadwick enters the battlefield, draw X cards. Whenever you cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent and opponent controls. So he's a 3 mana 3/3 wizard, bare minimum. But if you happen to have 6 mana, he's a 6 mana 3/3 that draws you 3 cards. Daddy like a lot. What's his regular artwork look like? Okay. His name is spoken only in whispers, but he hears just the same. Insatiable Appetite. 2 mana instant. You may sacrifice a food. If you do, target creature gets +5/+5 until end of turn. Otherwise, that creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. So it's a little bit more controllable version of Growth Cycle because you can just sack the food to get +5/+5. Whereas Growth Cycle, you have to have a Growth Cycle in the graveyard to do that. But Growth Cycle scales, whereas you can only sacrifice the one food token to go to the +5/+5. I can see a deck running either or. Bognaughty. Oh no, we gotta do Cauldron Familiar first. Cauldron Familiar, 1 mana, 1/1, cat, black. When it ETBs, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. Sack of food and return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. So they're really pushing the food mechanic in Sultai and Jund, it seems. That's pretty cool. Bognaughty. That's just a good name. 5 mana, 3/3 fairy with flying. 3 mana, sack of food. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Interesting. Interesting. Just the name. The name makes it worth it. Mereleaf Rider. 2 mana, 3/1 elf knight. Riding another fox. It's riding another fox. It's riding another fox, everyone. It's riding another fox. That's exciting. I love the fox mounts. Sack of food. Target creature blocks Mereleaf Rider this turn if able. So you can sack a food to give it lore. It's nice. They both hunger for battle. Into the story. 7 mana instant blue, so it's probably broke. This spell costs 3 less to cast if an opponent has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. So yeah, broke. 4 mana, instant. Draw 4 cards. Oh, well, yeah. Let's just draw 4 cards for 4 mana, everyone, at instant speed. Because we can. Because that's what we're going to do. We're going to take you into the story. Because the boundary between real and imaginary is as thin as the page and just as easily torn. Good flavor. Reeve Soul got a reprint. Destroy target creature, power 3 or less at sorcery speed. Yeah. Exile. Sorcery. 2 black. Destroy. Sorcery. 2 black. CNC 3 or greater. Power 3 or less. There's a Barrow Witch incantation, or should I say a Blair Witch incantation. Into amethyst I pour, envy's shadow, sorrow's gleam. Lure the one whose scorn I bore, that I may hear out one final scream. I added the out. Alright, Blair Witch. Getting freaky with your Reeve Soul and your epic downfall. The dragon had a lot of things going through his mind that day. He didn't expect a sword to be one of them. Through his mind? The sword went through his mind? That's a headshot. Alright, 188. Let's refresh it up. Still 188. Reeve Soul is our last one. So we're going to leave it off there. Dang. The flavor's there. The cards are there. The options and opportunities to brew are there. I'm looking forward to this set. Very much so. I'm really, really looking forward to this set. And there's so much control being applied in this set too. Yes. Lots of hasty creatures and knights and questing beasts that are going to wreck my life and make me hate magic. No, they won't make me hate Magic. I'll just be upset that I have to deal with Questing Beast. Even though we have all that, we have so much control coming into it too. I don't think I've seen any unconditional board wipes yet. I'd like to see one. We've got the -3/-3 to all the dudes that you don't control, basically, but I haven't seen any hard board wipes yet that I remember, at least. Looking forward to this set, though. Looking forward to the limited environment. It's going to be off, going crazy. I know that for sure. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for coming back to the Jank Factory and checking out these last 50, 67 or so spoilers with me. I'll be back with a gameplay video for you sometime later in the week, and I think I know the deck I'm going to play. I'm looking at a green-red deck that runs Krenko and basically wants to load him up with instant speed, power boosting spells, with Season of Growth out to make tons of tokens and draw tons of cards and keep fueling the engine. And so far, it's been doing decent in non-ranked play, so I'm gonna take it as a ranked play on video at some point this week. But it's pretty cool. It's Krenko cranking on people, and I like it. Thanks for coming by. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll be back with more spoilers as I see more come up. And thank you so much for sticking it out to the end if you're hearing this. This is Logrith from the Jank Factory. Happy magicking.